Adequate notice of this meeting as required by the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975 has been provided. Annual notice published in the Home News and Tribune on December 4th, 2025, and has been posted in the main lobby of the municipal complex on December 4th, 2025. Township of Edison Zoning Board of Adjustment special meeting of January 27th, 2026 is now in session. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I will now do roll call. Mr. Carley? Here. Ms. Knight? Here. Mr. Rogoff? Here. Mr. Ayotte?
Here.
Mr. Johnny? Mr. Cerrito? Here. Mr. Patel? Mr. Schneider? Here. Mr. Sadaha? Here. Mr. O'Gorman? Here. And Mr. Kamba? Here. Thank you. I will now call for a motion for chairperson. Thank you. And second, Mr. Patel? Beautiful. Okay, so I will do roll call. Mr. Johnny? Mr. Cerrito to the motion? Yes. Mr. Patel? Yes. Mr. Schneider? Yes. Mr. Sadaha? Yes. And Mr. O'Gorman? Yes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I look forward to another year working together, and I will now entertain a motion for Vice Chairman of the Board. Motion made by Mr. Schneider, second by Mr. Patel. Roll call, please.
Yeah, Raj, we need another mic. Mr. Johnny? Yes. Mr. Cerrito? Yes. Mr. Patel? Yes. Mr. Schneider? Yes. Mr. Sadaha? Yes. And Chairman Kamba? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Congratulations, Vice Chairman.
Thank you.
So we will now entertain a motion naming Rachel Ruggiero as Secretary to the Zoning Board of Adjustment. Motion made by Mr. Patel, seconded by Mr. Sadata. Roll call, please.
Mr. Johnny?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Cerrito?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Patel?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Sadata?
Yes on the motion.
Vice Chair O'Gorman?
Yes on the motion.
And Chairman Kamba?
Yes on the motion.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We will now entertain a motion naming professional planner to the board.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion for NAGLA
Second.
planner, Lindsay Knight, professional planner.
Second.
Motion made by Vice Chairman O'Gorman, seconded by Mr. Johnny. Roll call, please.
Mr. Johnny?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Cerrito?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Patel?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Sadaha?
Yes on the motion.
Vice Chair O'Gorman?
Yes on the motion.
And Chairman Kamba?
Yes on the motion.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So much. On behalf of myself and Neglia, we really appreciate you guys appointing us, and we look forward to this next year.
Thank you. Welcome aboard. We will now entertain a motion naming a professional planner to the board.
Motion for a professional engineer.
Oh, I'm sorry, professional engineer.
Yeah. I'd like to make a motion for Mr. Carley and Delaware Raritan Engineering.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Schneider, seconded by Mr. Johnny, naming Delaware Raritan Engineering as our professional engineer to the board. Roll call, please.
Mr. Johnny?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Cerrito?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Patel?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Sadaha?
Yes on the motion.
Vice Chair O'Gorman?
Yes on the motion.
And Chairman Kamba?
Yes on the motion. Congratulations, Mr. Carley.
Promise in 2026 to turn on the microphone.
We're going to hold you to that.
Nice.
All right. Counsel?
Yes, my name is Mark Rogoff. I am appearing on behalf of the zoning board this evening, pending a more formal appointment of the attorney for the zoning board.
Thank you. Welcome aboard. So we have two announcements this evening. Case Z2 2020, Lamar Advertising of Penn LLC at 81 and 101 US Highway 1 has been carried to March 31st, 2026 with no renotice required. If you're here for this case, Z2 2020, Lamar Advertising of Penn LLC. It will not be heard this evening. It will be heard on March 31st, 2026 at 7 p.m. here in council chambers. Also, case Z27 2025, Vikash Sharma at 36 Rainford Road has been carried to February 17th, 2026 with no renotice required. If you are here for this case, Z27 2025, it will not be heard this evening. It will be heard on February 17th, 2026 with the meeting beginning here at 7 p.m. here in council chambers. If you received a notice, you will not receive another notice. This will serve as your notice. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a special meeting of the Township of Edison Zoning Board of Adjustment. The board is composed of Edison Township residents appointed by the Municipal Council who volunteer their time and service to the board. The Municipal Land Use Law requires that members successfully complete a land use training course administered by the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. This board also holds in-house training conducted by our board professionals. The Zoning Board abides by the provisions of the Municipal Land Use Law in addition to our board's bylaws. The Zoning Board is a quasi-judicial land use board which differs from the Township Planning Board. Under the Municipal Land Use Law, board members are required to be impartial and are not allowed to discuss any case prior to being considered at a hearing. All applicants will have the opportunity to present their case before the board, along with the opportunity for board members and board professionals to question the applicant and their witnesses. At the conclusion of the applicant's presentation of their case, the case will open to the public. Residents within 200 feet of subject site will be heard, followed by residents from outside of 200 feet. All residents will be sworn in. They'll provide their name and address, and they'll be given 6 minutes to comment on the application being considered without the opportunity for a rebuttal. Residents may ask questions of the applicant's professionals, and board professionals. The board requests that these questions are asked prior to any commentary being made on the application. Once commentary begins, the resident's timer will begin. The applicant will be allowed the opportunity for cross-examination of their witnesses. Under the law, the chair is allowed to stop any commentary which is repetitive or an attempt to filibuster the board. Further, the chair is allowed to stop any commentary that is irrelevant to the case or prohibited from the board's consideration. Once the public portion is closed, all public comments are ended unless new testimony is presented by the applicant. Following the closure of the public portion, the applicant will have the right of summation on their application. Following summation, the case will go to the board for a decision. This procedure has been followed by the board and is similar to procedures followed by boards of adjustment statewide. The Municipal Land Use Law requires the board to engage in a balancing act and is not required to strictly apply township ordinances, zoning plan, or master plan. As a board of adjustment, variances are granted when appropriately necessary, following all legal considerations. As has been the case with prior boards, we will see where we're at if we're still in session around 10:30 p.m. I ask that all applicants, professionals, and residents show respect to each other and be civil throughout all proceedings. I ask that you withhold applause, booing, or interrupting anyone while they are speaking. The chair will not tolerate any outbursts by applicants, professionals, or the public. Further, since most cases are being recorded by a court reporter, I ask that speakers do not speak over one another. Madam Secretary, first case on the agenda, please.
Case number Z13, 2025, Lake Home Renovations, LLC, at 17 Jean Place. Applicant is seeking bulk variance to construct a new single-family dwelling, now existing. The following standards have not been met. Minimum front yard setback required is 25 feet, proposed is 20.9 feet. And minimum side yard setback required is 10 feet, proposed is 9.6 feet. Affected property is located in the RBB zone, designated as block number 55603, lot number 12.01 on the Edison Township tax map. All noticing paperwork is in order.
Can the applicant please approach? Sit at the table, please.
Good evening, Chairman.
Good evening.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. My name is Pankaj Maknor of Wiley Lavender Maknor. and I appear on behalf of the applicant Lake Home Renovations LLC in connection with the property located at 17 Jean Place in Edison. This matter is before the board this evening, seeking bulk variances pursuant to NJSA 40:50D-70C2 to legalize an existing single-family dwelling. With me tonight is John DuPont, who will testify as both a New Jersey licensed professional planner and engineer. We also have Frank DeSario, a member of the applicant, present. Though we don't anticipate offering him testimony, but he's here to answer any questions from the board. Procedural context, as your board may recall, this matter was previously listed and carried so that the board could hear testimony from a qualified engineer and planner addressing both the technical and planning aspects of the relief requested. We are here tonight prepared to present that testimony. As stated in the introduction, by clarification, the applicant is seeking approval of the following bulk variances to legalize the existing structure. Front yard setback required at 25 feet, provided in our plans is 20.9 feet. It's a deviation of 4.1 feet. And side yard setback variance of one side required 10 feet and is provided at 9.6 feet, approximately 4 inches. All the relief sought is to legalize the existing single-family home. No use variance is requested. Under the C2 requirements, there's 3 requirements that need to be met. One is that the variance is specific to a certain piece of property. The proposed variance advances the municipal planning and zoning plan. And 3, the benefit of granting the resolution outweighs the detriment to the public. And with that, I'd like to bring my first witness, Your Honor, or Mr. Chairman.
Okay, yeah, microphone.
Sir, you want to stand? Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give the zoning board in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Mr. DuPont, you've appeared before us previously, but it's a new year. So if you could please provide the board with a brief summary of your background qualifications.
Absolutely. I am a licensed professional engineer in the state of New Jersey. I have been so since the mid-1990s, getting old. I am also a professional planner by examination in the state of New Jersey. I served as the Borough of Carteret Planning and Zoning Board engineer and planner for the past 28 years. I've been in front of your board as both planner and engineer numerous times, as well as other towns throughout the county.
And your licenses are current and good standing?
They are.
We'll accept. You may proceed. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think before he testifies, the record should reflect that this matter was originally heard on September 16, 2025, wherein the applicant testified. There was a different lawyer. Are you with the same firm, sir?
Yes.
So if he decides he wants to provide any further testimony, we'll deal with it.
Okay, understood.
I think one of the reasons why it was carried was because you didn't have a professional planner.
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay. So as you've heard, this is 17 Jean Place. It's block 556-C, lots 12 and 13. It is in the RBB zone. So a little history. The original project was to construct a fully conforming single-family home. The applicant submitted the plans, grading and plot plans to the township, received all permits, and began to build. The lot does exceed the required lot area, lot depth. So it's not a small lot, it actually exceeds the area. All other permits were received and the applicant started construction. It wasn't until the foundation was in and the dwelling was framed and the exterior completed that it was noticed by the building department that the foundation was placed in the wrong location. The applicant made a mistake when staking out the foundation. He inadvertently measured the location of the foundation from the edge of pavement because there wasn't curb, rather than the property line. By doing this, the foundation ended up 4.1 feet closer to the roadway than originally designed and allowed by your ordinance. The compounded mistake, he also had the foundation shifted slightly closer to the side yard. You heard the side yard requirement is 10 feet. This is 9.6 feet. This mistake was not a result of an intent to ignore the zoning regulations, but rather a bona fide layout error. So the end result, front yard setback requirement 25 feet, the new existing, now the new home, is 20.9. Side yard setback 10 feet required, we have 9.6 feet. We are seeking 2 bulk variances tonight. I do have a couple exhibits, and I'm going to walk over to that board, and or you can hand them out to the board. Yeah. So I made handouts for everybody you could see, but I have a larger one on the board over here.
What's on the board?
There's 3 things on the board. There's a updated.
No, just what is it?
Excuse me?
What is it?
So this is a building permit sheet 1 with the updated house location.
Is it part of the plan?
It is part of this, well, it's a modified, it's part of that handout, it's an exhibit, it's not part of the submission set.
Okay, so how many pages is it?
I have 3 sheets up here.
Okay, so we'll mark, if there are different issues, we'll mark that one as A1.
Okay,
And can you describe it again for the record?
I will. So this sheet is the building permit plan that was originally submitted to the board, but now updated to show the current location of the dwelling. So they modified it and showed the actual location. And I'm even going to shift quickly to, I'll be back to this page. I just want to show you the second sheet. We'll mark it as A2. It's also in that packet you're being handed out. It is the as-built survey. The as-built survey just shows, and I highlighted in yellow on your copy, the front yard setback being 20.9 existing, and the side yard setback being 9.6.
What's the date of the survey?
The date of the survey is 12/27/2024.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm sorry, that's A2?
That's A2.
Did you say there was a third?
There's the third.
You want to mark it now?
Yes.
What is it?
A3 is a Google map aerial of the neighborhood. We've taken a Google image, we've laid over the property lines, and we laid over the setbacks, and that'll be A3. And I'll go
We'll
over
mark
that in
that,
detail.
we'll mark that A3 then. Counselor, are you looking to put those in evidence?
Yes.
Okay, we'll put those A1 through A3 in evidence.
Very good. So if you look at the first sheet, I just wanted to make sure the board understood. You could see the location, that 20.9, the house was simply shifted forward a little bit. And the side yard setback, 9.6. Just I wanted you to understand how close it is to the front yard. So as we go through testimony, I'm going to do both engineering testimony, and then we're going to shift gears to go to planning testimony. So first, engineering. So from an engineering standpoint, nothing really changes on site. The front yard was designed to flow, stormwater to flow to the street, and is currently maintained. The side will still have the drainage swale as designed on the eastern side of the property and as was built. That won't impact it. And the rear yard of the property all drains to the back. So no changes from that. If there's any impact on the engineering by this change, was that the house was pulled closer to the street, the driveway was reduced, the impervious coverage was reduced, and runoff was probably reduced, right? So we have less impervious than initially designed. So if there's an impact, we probably made it a little better for stormwater. It needs to be mentioned that even with the house being pulled closer than originally designed, the driveway still meets the depth. You still have 20 feet for your driveway space. So the cars are not hanging into the right of way. There's no overhang. The driveways still meet your ordinance. I think that's a very important note. There's also no impacts on sight lines. There's no sightline issues with this house being pulled forward a little bit. There's none. Now, we have received a site improvement review from your township engineer. And we could comply with everything, but there are 2 comments I think we should discuss in detail. Comment number 3 in that letter talks about the driveway width. So as originally submitted, if you look at we're still looking at A1. It has a 2-car garage in front. It has a third bay, a third garage to the side. So it's providing 3 garages and 3 driveways. That was originally submitted. That was approved. That driveway width of 30 feet shown was originally approved. We'd like to keep that. If we need relief, as the SIP review said, called out this time, didn't call out initially. But if we can, we'd like to keep that 30-foot because it provides 6 off-street parking spaces. It's nice to have that third bay. If the board is concerned about the width of that driveway, and you direct us to, we'll take out that side, that 1 driveway and bay. It can be done. I would think it's a better project with it. In comment 5, talks about the easterly side of the property. The engineer mentioned that there's water on the eastern side of the property draining to the adjacent property owner's property directly. And that would be, as you're looking at the plan, the right side of the plan, there's actually a swale was designed initially on that side. It's built on that side, and the water drains to the rear of the property. And we know of no, because we had the client ask the neighbors if he knew of any concerns of drainage. We've heard none. If there's anything there or any concerns further, we'll gladly work with the township engineer and satisfy him. All other comments in that letter we can comply with. So that's it from an engineering standpoint. It's pretty basic.
So just so I can clarify, does the applicant agree to comply with all the terms and conditions contained in the professional engineer's report generated by the Township of Edison?
We are.
Okay, any other reports? I assume that whatever other reports were generated by the township, the applicant would agree to comply with, is that right?
There were no other reports, but certainly if there was a second report, we'd have to review it, but there's only 1 report generated at this moment.
Okay.
Okay, so shifting gears and going to a planning testimony. So the cause of the variance. These variances resulted in a dwelling being placed in an incorrect location. A construction error caused this problem. While the mistake explains how the conditions occurred, my professional opinion is based on planning principles and land use impacts, not on fault. The relevant question here under the MLUL is whether variances can be granted without substantial detriment to the public good, without substantial impairment to the zoning plan or zoning ordinance, and whether or not the statutory criteria is satisfied. So when we're looking on the analysis, it's a C2 analysis. It's a flexible C2 in my opinion. We're going to balance the positive and negative criteria. We're going to show you that the benefits clearly outweigh any perceived detriment. So again, my professional opinion, the application satisfies the C2 variance criteria, focuses on advancing the purposes of the MLUL. Granting the variance will allow the continued use of a property for a single-family use. It will preserve an attractive dwelling that is consistent with scale, design, and character of the surrounding homes. I don't know if you've seen this, if you've seen this block, if you've driven down this property. It's a beautiful block. There are a lot of very nice homes on this block. This to scale and size, magnitude, fits perfectly in the block. Granting the variance will also avoid any unnecessary waste and environmental impacts associated with demolition and reconstruction. This house is almost complete. It'll promote sound land use planning by recognizing existing neighborhood development patterns, because we do meet the neighborhood pattern. Now we have the A3. It's gonna be very hard to see on yours, but I'll show you here and we'll walk through it together. So we wanted to somehow be able to provide evidence and show the board how this house will look in their neighborhood. So we didn't survey it. We used a Google map image. We placed the tax map over the top of that. We tied our property into it and showed the existing home in the current location, and that's the hatched one right in the middle in black hatching. And then we checked. Now again, We didn't survey it, so it's estimated, but I want you to see just the perception. We looked at all the homes within 250 feet, see if any of them match our setbacks. 27 Jean Place is less than 25 feet from the front yard setback. 23 Jean Place is less than 25 feet. 8 Jean Place is less than 25 feet. And 3 Hillsdale Road is less than 25 feet.
You know the dimensions?
I do know the dimensions. Yes, the actual dimensions, how far?
Well, if you
Yes.
said, if you tell the board it's less than 25 feet, what does that mean?
Well, again, I didn't give specific, I didn't survey it, but they're less than 25 feet. I put the 25-foot setback on there, and the house is forward of that. I didn't survey it. It's an estimate based on Google Images. I just wanted to kind of give you a schematic. I walked the neighborhood today. I couldn't even tell which was the house was when we were walking it. The house, the proposed house, or the new house, as you walk down the street, is in perfect line with the block. There's a slight bend in Jean Place. This home is perfectly in line with the contour of that street and those homes. Yes, there are a house or two, a little smaller, a little older, that may be a little smaller and a little back further. Most of the houses are right up on that. And they're all fitting that one-car driveway. So it does not look out of character. The reason no one saw, in my opinion, that no one saw or noticed the foundation was in the wrong location until the building was built is because it looks like it perfectly matches. It doesn't look out of place at all. You drive by tonight or tomorrow in the daylight, it's going to look like it matches the neighborhood. That's why no one noticed it. As far as the side yard setback goes, 9.6 feet. Instead of 10 on our eastern side. Our adjoining property right next to us has 9.2 feet. The adjacent property is closer than we are to our neighbor. You're not even going to see that difference. You're not going to be able to perceive that difference. So the deviations, in my opinion, from the front and side yard requirements are minimal and technical in nature. And the home remains, this is the most critical part, very consistent with the neighborhood and the adjacent properties. Granting these variances will promote several purposes of the MLUL. Purpose A, to encourage municipal action to guide appropriate use and development of all lands in the state in a manner to promote public health, safety, general welfare. We have a single-family home in a single-family zone. We are consistent with the neighborhood with respect to both front and side yard setbacks. Granting the variances voids the need to partially demolish a structure or alter a structure that's already constructed, which could compromise the building safety, create construction hazards, prolong disturbance to the neighborhood. Allowing the dwelling to proceed as constructed promotes a safer and more orderly construction of the home. Purpose C, to provide light, air, and open space. The front yard setback is consistent with the neighbor's property. We're not constricting the light, air, open space. The reduced setback does not materially impact light, air, open space. When viewed as your perception, as your neighborhood, you're not going to even perceive the difference. Purpose E, to promote the establishment of appropriate population densities to contribute to the well-being of neighborhoods. We're again proposing one single-family dwelling on an oversized lot, meeting the character of the neighborhood. Purpose I, to promote a desirable visual environment through creative development techniques and good civic design and arrangement. Again, beautiful new home. I don't know if you've seen it. Very well, fits beautifully in the neighborhood. Purpose M, to encourage the coordination of public and private development. Allowing the project to proceed avoids prolonged construction activity, repeated inspections, additional disruption to municipal services and neighborhood properties. Supporting orderly development consistent with local planning objectives. As far as and we'll go one more thing. I'll really quickly show you. 27 Jean Place, just to give you an idea. Our house is right there in the middle. 27 Jean Place is right there. 1, 2, 3 doors down. 23 is 2 doors down. 8 Jean is across the street, 2 doors down. And then the corner in Hillsdale is right across the street from our property. Just to give you an idea of the neighborhood. As far as negative criteria, I see no substantial detriment to the public good. The as-built location of the dwelling does not negatively impact the light, air, open space, does not impair the site triangles or public safety, does not create drainage or stormwater issues or environmental negative impacts. It does not negatively affect neighboring properties. Surrounding properties contain homes of varied setbacks, and the dwelling does not appear out of character. There is no substantial impairment of the zoning plan. The variances requested do not undermine the intent of the zone plan. They do not affect permitted densities or lot coverages. The central purpose of the zoning ordinance is to maintain a stable single-family neighborhood, and that is fully maintained by allowing us dwelling to stay. My plan in conclusion, if I look at your master plan, granting the requested front and side yard setback variances is consistent with the township's master plan to preserve a district, create cohesive neighborhoods, encourage development that is compatible in scale and design with well-established neighborhoods, and maintain the character and integrity of the existing residential neighborhood. That's from your master plan. It also supports efficient use of land and infrastructure by avoiding needless demolition and waste of resources, while ensuring that the subject property enhances public safety, streetscape quality, and neighborhood community. Based upon my review and analysis, it is my professional opinion that the requested front and side yard variances can be granted. The benefits of granting the variances substantially outweigh any perceived detriment. And relief can be granted without substantial detriment to the public good, without substantial impairment to the zone plan or zoning ordinance. That concludes my testimony.
Does the board have any questions? Excuse me. Does the board have any questions, Mr. DuPont?
I have a question.
Vice Chairman?
So this A2, this survey is an as-built that was done on 12/27/2024, correct?
That's correct.
How was the foundation laid out initially? Was there a survey performed?
The applicant laid out the foundation without utilizing a surveyor.
So there was no survey?
No, that was actually a mistake by the applicant.
And then this A3, your testimony is 27 Jean Place. What's the setback? What is it?
I said because it's Google, because I didn't survey it, I said less than 25 feet.
But what does that mean? What is the number?
I did not send surveyors out there. I don't want to, I used the Google image. I don't think it's 100% accurate. I could see the location of our house versus their houses, and I saw the pattern.
Where is 3 Hillsdale? Where is that on
It's
there?
that corner one right across the street on Hillsdale. Directly in front of our property.
So the best you can say, Mr. DuPont, is this is a visual guesstimate. I mean, since you didn't survey the other properties, I mean, essentially what you did was utilize the technology so as to provide just a visual guesstimate.
So I will tell you this, Mr. Chairman. I physically walked the block. I stood there at both ends and looked up that line. Our house is perfectly in line. As I first got there tonight, I couldn't even tell which house is further forward. Then we got there. There's 2 new houses being built. It's right in line. I'm thinking the setbacks there's a couple that are about 21, 22 feet. There are a couple older homes, a little smaller homes that are pushed back a little farther. But every other home it's a nice block, and they're in good shape, and they're very consistent.
Board have any other questions for Mr. DuPont? Seeing none? Okay. Thank you, Mr. DuPont. Counsel, do you have anything?
We have no further witnesses.
Okay. All right, so we will now go out to the public. Anyone within 200 feet of subject site wanting to be heard, please approach. If you're within 200 feet, you receive a notice via certified mail. Ma'am?
Name, want to raise your right hand? You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give the planning board in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Just to correct you, zoning board.
What?
We're better looking than the zoning, but the zoning board is better looking than the planning board in this.
Did I say planning board?
You said planning board, it's okay.
You know what? I've been doing that for 40
It's all
years.
good, it's all good,
So it's the zoning board.
it's all good.
You know what board you're in front of, right?
Yes. I'm in
Okay.
front of the zoning.
Ma'am, just please state your name and address for the record.
My
and you
name
may
is
proceed.
Joan Rose, and I live at 9 Jean Place. I have some concerns. Basically, my concerns are about this whole process. As a resident within 200 feet, when we first received this letter, it said that you were seeking a variance, the applicant was seeking a variance to construct a new home, which confused the neighbors considerably because the house had already been constructed. And that right away set a tone of a lot of questions as to like what's really going on here. It did not set a positive tone. And I also just heard something that the mistake was noticed when the foundation was poured and the house was framed. But by the time we got a letter saying that there was a discrepancy, the house was just about ready to be moved into. I mean, you could see fixtures hanging on the inside. So a lot of time had passed between, I guess, when this mistake was discovered and the public was notified. And building or improvements or whatever continued. I have some concerns. I know nothing about building houses, but my mother taught me to sew when I was 9 years old and says you measure twice and you cut once. And I don't know anything about the house. Is it a beautiful house? Absolutely. My concern is you need a permit for everything in Edison, as in many townships. And I don't understand how we got to this point with professionals. I don't know how it got to this point where the house is already built and we're doing this. I have a concern about if you go through the neighborhood, any older home is being knocked down and new or more than one new house is being built on the lot. If my neighbor sells their house on either side or I sell my house, I don't want to have to be the one out there with a tape measure knowing whoever's coming in and making sure that they're not too close to my house or they're not doing something that they're not supposed to do. That's not my job as a taxpayer, and I'm concerned about that. So I am just concerned about what this means in terms of, you know, some other person coming in and deliberately doing something. I mean, this appears to be a mistake, but somebody deliberately doing something and coming to you and doing the same thing and saying, well, I'm not going to fix it. It's, you know, it looks nice. It's going to be better for the neighborhood. So my concerns basically are about the process and what happened. How did we get to this point so far along in the house before these meetings were scheduled? I also have a question. I have a neighbor who could not be here and she sent an email and I didn't know if I was allowed to read her email.
No, you cannot.
I cannot. Okay.
Now, she has a right to be here, but
Yeah, she's too
can't
ill. And she didn't want to
cross-examine.
make anybody
Nobody can-
sick. And she sent an email thinking that it possibly could be used, but okay.
unfortunately, we have rules. They're not as strict as court rules are, but we do have one rule, and that is if you want to be heard, you have to come.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because
It's
he has a right to cross-examine that person, and the board has a right to question him,
okay.
and they can't do that.
I understand. Yeah. So I just wanted to express my concerns.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming out. Anyone else within 200 feet of subject site want to be heard?
Sir, you want to raise your right hand? You swear affirm testimony you're about to give the zoning board in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do. I don't know if you can hear me, but Mike Rosen, 9 Jean Place. My biggest concern right now is that if this whole ordeal, this whole process right now is going to set a precedent going forward for any other homes that may be built that, I did say, that if somebody makes a mistake or, quote, makes a mistake, that you would need to grant permission because they made a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake. I won't build a house because I know nothing about building a house. The fact that a person who was educated enough to build a house does not seem to be consulted before building or laying out the house, laying out the layout of the home and all that, and doing the measuring or whatever is necessary. The person whose testimony prior, the planning professional planner, I think you said he was. He should have been involved prior to, instead of after the fact. This would never have happened, in my opinion. But I'm just want to make sure that somebody doesn't go and say, hey, they built their house last year. It's now, instead of 25 feet, it's 20 feet from the front setback or front yard. So now I can make it 19 and they're going to let me do that. I don't want to see that happen going forward. And that's the only problem that I have with what has happened here. There are checks and balances. There are people who go out and they check the property, they look at it. The person building it is there weekly, daily, maybe, depending on who it is. Also, my wife said the same thing, that it should have been found out prior to building the entire house. And that is very concerning to me. People make mistakes, yes. Is it really a mistake? I don't know. But I do have a problem with the front setback of 25 feet and the proposed 20.9. The side yardage is only a half a foot. You know, it's not a big deal, but that whole 5 feet, if you look at the going down the road, is there a curb and a sidewalk that's going to be installed, which would bring the curb in more, you know, would it line up with the neighbor next to me? And that would also make his front yard smaller also. So it's just my opinion. That's basically all I really have to say about that. I just don't want this to be something for somebody to go and say, hey, well, these houses are now all less than 25 feet. We think we should make our house less than 25 feet because they'll let us do it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much. Anyone else within 200 feet of subject site wanting to be heard? Anyone from outside 200 feet of subject site wanting to be heard? Seeing none, can I get a motion to close the public portion?
Motion to close public portion.
Second.
Motion made by Vice Chairman O'Gorman, second by Mr. Schneider. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Public portion is now closed. Council, do you have anything to add?
If I may, I would like to just call Mr. Desario just to explain the timeline as to some of the comments that were just made, so it's clear for the board.
So if you, then council, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if you had the applicant come back, we would then have to reopen to the public.
That's correct.
Thank you.
The hearing is essentially closed.
So you can give a summation, but if your client gives a summation, you're then reopening the hearing.
I'll just close it out then.
Can you bring the microphone closer to you, please? Thank you very much.
So it's our understanding that the foundation was laid in May of 2024. The issue was discovered in December of 2024, and all construction stopped since then. With that as a summation, Chairman, members of the board, we're seeking this variance. The side deviation is 4 inches. It's plainly de minimis, has no planning impact. The front yard setback does not alter the neighborhood character and streetscape of the alignment. The applicant has agreed to follow through with the recommendations of the municipal report and the engineering report. There's no engineering, planning, or public detriment associated with granting the relief. We're seeking the relief under the C2 variance without impairment to the zone, plan, or public good, and applicant respectfully requests approval of this application.
Thank you very much. And I'll go to the board.
Mr. Chairman?
Vice Chairman?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to deny this application. It hasn't met the positive and negative criteria. Also, this application is self-imposed. There was no survey done to lay out the foundation, and it doesn't meet the characteristics of the neighborhood. Second.
Motion made by Vice Chairman O'Gorman, second by Mr. Sadato. Roll call, please.
Mr. Cerrito?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Johnny?
Yes on motion.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Patel?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Sadaha?
Yes on the motion.
Vice Chair O'Gorman?
Yes on the motion.
And Chairman Kamba.
Yes on the motion. This application is denied. Madam Secretary, next case on the agenda.
Case number Z34, 2025, Bargav Choksky at 22 Augusta Ave. Applicant is seeking bulk variances to construct an addition to the existing single-family dwelling. The following standards have not been met. Front yard setback required is 25 feet, proposed is 13.78 feet. Minimum lot depth required is 100 feet, proposed is 90 feet. Accessory building side yard setback required is 3 feet, proposed is 1.1 feet, existing. Affected property is located in the RB zone, designated as block number 976.02, lot number 14, on the Edison Township tax map. All noticing paperwork is in order.
Good evening.
Sure, he's properly licensed.
You're Mr. Choksky?
Yep.
Okay. Our attorney will swear you in.
He's the applicant?
He's the applicant.
That's it. All right, sir, you want to stand? Raise your right hand, sir. You swear or affirm, guys? Swear or affirm testimony you're about to give the zoning board the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Your name and address, sir?
Bhagwan Chokshi, 22 Augusta Avenue.
I'm sorry, 22 what?
Augusta Avenue.
Okay, sir, you can have a seat. You can tell the board what you'd like to do and why you'd like to do it.
Yeah, so first of all, good evening, Mr. Chairman and the members of the board. My name is Bhagwan Chokshi, as I mentioned. With my wife, we own the house at 22 Augusta Avenue, which on the Edison map goes with the block number 97602 and the lot number 14. We live in the house with our 2 children and my parents. So last year, my parents underwent some major surgeries, which preventing them to take the stairs. So as they aging, it's going to be more and more challenging for them to take the stairs, and it's going to be causing the risk for their safety as well. So we here to seek for your approval to construct the master bedroom on the first floor. And this will allow my parents to live safely and comfortably without needing them to take the stairs. So I'm here this evening with Paul. He's representing me as the planner. If you have any questions, I'm happy to address. Otherwise, over to Mr. Paul.
Okay. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Choksky before we go to Mr. Fletcher? Seeing none. Okay, Mr. Fletcher, if you could please stand, and our attorney will swear you in.
Mr. Fletcher, you swear or affirm testimony you're about to give the zoning board the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? What license will you be testifying under? I can't hear
You
you.
need to go into the microphone, Mr. Fletcher.
You can sit down, because I've sworn you.
I'll mainly be testifying as a planner. However, I will provide engineering testimony if necessary.
Are your licenses in planning and engineering?
They are both current and
Valid?
valid. Yes,
You have a valid engineer's license from the state of New Jersey?
I do.
And you have a valid license, a planning license from the state of New Jersey?
I do.
Okay, we'll accept it. Thank you, Mr. Fletcher.
Thank you. Yes, the subject property is known as 22 Augusta Avenue. It's lot 14 in block 976.02. It is a corner lot. It's located in the RB zone. We're conforming lot area. We have 7,629 square feet. The lot is conforming with regards to lot area. However, it is substandard. It's an existing condition for lot depth. Both sides are only 90 feet, where the requirement is 100 feet, but those are existing conditions. And that does lead to one of the reasons we're seeking this variance, because of the restricted size of the lot. The dimensions are reducing the usable rear yard considerably. The applicant proposes to enlarge the two-story frame dwelling by adding on the side of the house, on the Lynch Avenue side, facing the house from Augusta to the left, 12-foot wide by 25-foot, 9-inch long, one-story addition that will accommodate a master bedroom for his parents, as he had mentioned. And the reason it's proposed to be on that side is that to put it to the rear of the house, it would severely curtail the usability of the rear yard. We're proposing it to be on the side, which does cause a front yard setback variance. However, it's the area of the lot that is not really used for recreational purposes. And the testimony I will provide, I think, will show the board that this is not inconsistent with the existing pattern in the neighborhood. First of all, the location of this addition will be 13.78 feet from the right-of-way line of Lynch Avenue, where 25 feet is required. It is set back from Augusta, and it is offset from the front of the house. There will be no sightline problems with the location of this. It will meet all AASHTO standards with regard to sight distances. There will be a variance for, as I mentioned, the front yard setback. However, all other bulk standards with regards to this proposal will be met. The lot coverage by building, FAR, total lot coverage by impervious. There are two existing nonconformities. One is the shed in the rear yard. It is existing at 1.1 foot off the side and approximately 1.8 or 2 feet from the rear yard line. And the other nonconformity is the lot depth. We're at 90 feet where the zone requires 100. But again, those two conditions are existing.
I'm looking at his notices.
I did prepare an exhibit. I walked the neighborhood recently on the weekend. Prepared an exhibit that I'd like to enter as Exhibit A1. I'll pass it out to the board if I may.
Thanks. Sorry, what are you doing here? A1. Exhibit A1? What is it?
Explain that.
Zoning map.
Yeah. as long as he calls out.
So Exhibit A1 is a copy of the tax map showing the subject property and the surrounding neighborhood. Subject property has been highlighted in blue. There are 5 other properties in the immediate neighborhood that are colored orange. These are other homes with front yard violations, existing conditions. I do want to point out to the board, I want to assure the board, no construction has started on this house. We're here to seek, if possible, approval to do it. Across the street, immediately across the street, there is a home that is has a double-car garage, and it's 8.5 feet from the property line. On the next block, on the corner of Christie and Lynch, the driveway is 18 feet from the garage face of the garage door to the property line. Similarly, on the corner of Monroe and Lynch, there's a property that's 19.5 feet. Going down the block on Delwood Road, the corner of Christie, there's a property that's 17.5 feet from the front right-of-way. And lastly, on Calvert, the corner of Calvert and Delwood, there is a property that's 14 feet. And I bring this to the board's attention to show that the requested variance is not particularly out of character. In fact, it's at 13.7 feet. It's considerably more than the home directly opposite at 8.5. I believe that the board has the ability under the C1 criteria, because of the unique shape of the property, to put this addition at the back of the house would impact the usability of the rear yard, take away the functionality. And I see no adverse impact to the zone plan or the master plan. By the granting of this variance, I see no adverse impact to the neighborhood. Certainly see no concerned neighbors with anything to voice in the audience. As I mentioned, clearly the needs of a family are not a particularly solid planning reason, but they're clearly a reason and a need for this family to provide accommodation for its extended family. Again, I believe the variances can be granted without detriment to the public good, to the master plan or their zone plan, and I would respectfully request that the board approve this application.
Before the board asks you any questions, if they do, I just had a question about the public notice. Did you draft the public notice, or did the applicant?
I did it.
Okay. Mr. Fletcher, have you reviewed the notice that the applicant provided?
I don't believe I did.
I'm sorry?
I do not believe I did.
In my opinion, this public notice that he provided is very close to being completely inadequate. So when you tell the public that you're seeking variances, you don't refer to the codes. People don't have the codes. You need to specifically identify the relief that you're seeking from the zoning board. This notice does not. In addition, the second paragraph says it leads one to believe, if you're the public reading this, that there's only one variation. It says, quote, this variation. It's not this variation, it's these variations.
And why you might think that I'm nitpicking about this, I'm not, because the notice provisions of the municipal land use law are very specific. The public who reads the public notice has to be informed what relief you're seeking from the zoning board or any land use board. Otherwise, they may not come here because they don't understand it, i.e., there's nobody here. Or maybe they didn't understand it. I have no idea. But from a legal standpoint, any court that looks at this might consider this to be inadequate notice, regardless of what the board does. So my question to you is, notice is jurisdictional. If the notice is inadequate, the board doesn't have jurisdiction to decide this matter.
I would like to ask the applicant.
What do you want to do?
I'd like to ask the applicant, he would like to say something.
So
Where did you get this notice?
It doesn't matter, Mr. Fletcher. It doesn't matter where he got it or why he did it. It is what the public sees. Whether he got bad advice or flipped the wrong page or whatever. I mean, his notice says you're seeking bulk variances to add an addition to the second-story family dwelling for this four, which is incorrect. The section numbers 37-63.1-4, 37-63.1-17, 37-63.1-8, and any other variances that you need. I didn't say anything. You need to identify the relief. Front yard, setback, side yards, maximum coverage, lot coverage. So people understand what you're talking about. It's very misleading. So my question to you is, if we proceed, I mean, I understand there's nobody here, so maybe nobody appeals, whatever the board does. I have no idea what they do. I don't do that. They do. You can either redo it or have the board decide it. What's your pleasure?
Could you repeat the question?
Really?
What were the options there?
If your notice is potentially defective, which I kind of just explained to you, you have to make a decision. Now, technically speaking, it could be my opinion to this board that says, since notice is jurisdictional, as you know, because you're a planner, then we don't have jurisdiction to decide it. If it were a closed case, I don't know that it is, then you could proceed at your own risk. And if somebody appeals it because they say that notice is defective, and you get sued, you can get bounced. Your approval could go bye-bye. If we approved it. I don't know, I don't know what they'll do. So I'm asking you, given what I just said to you, how does the applicant wish to proceed? Now, you're not a lawyer, you're a planner and an engineer. So he needs to decide what he wants to do without your advice, because if you give him advice, that's legal advice. You can't really do that. So, sir, you want 2 minutes?
So I have a question.
You want 2 minutes to talk to him?
Yeah, definitely. So just for the record, these notices, the template was given to me as I submitted the variance application.
I'm sorry, can you raise your voice? I can't hear you.
So this particular template that we are seeing for the notices was given
template?
The notice template that you are seeing was given to me as part of submitting the application.
Sir, I don't want to be rude.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying. But you don't have a lawyer. There are legal requirements with respect to notice, and they're pretty stringent. I mean, in close cases, it's all about informing the public properly of what you're looking for. And if they look at this and can't figure it out, it becomes defective. Now, having said that, because I've spoken too much already,
What is your pleasure? Do you want to proceed and have the board decide this or not? Because if you don't, if you opt not to, that means it's a do-over. You have to do new notice and come back and do it all over again. But you placed yourself in that position because I don't know where you got this notice, but it is what it is.
Can I consult with him?
Would you like to take a 2-minute recess?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so the board will stand for a 2-minute recess.
Already I'm making a mess. What the hell was this? Are these the ones that are non-conforming? Because I was like looking at the notice. So out of all of these lots, this is what's all this. Probably just I did the best I could. That'll avoid a do-over. You'll be okay.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
I'm not sure what prompted me to look at that.
You just looked at it. You had a feeling?
Yes. Sidewalks. Yes.
Let's see what they do.
12 hours after this last law.
Does that fall under your jurisdiction?
Yes.
Take a ride. The board will return to session. Sir?
So I have a question to the board. Is there a recommendation from the board itself to proceed ahead? Or like, is the board suggesting to do the notices part
I can't,
for the clarity?
we can't show our cards and tell you how the board's gonna vote because we haven't made a decision on how we're gonna vote. So we don't know that you have a green light or a red light. That we can't legally, that we cannot do that. So it's a you decision as to what you want to do. If you want to proceed, you could proceed. If you want to properly renotice, as council has suggested, and then come back and present your case again at a later date, you could do that. That's a you decision, not an us decision.
Does this affect the, maybe I'm rephrasing the same question, but as it can directly impact what I'm trying to do here for my family. So if I can ask again, does this impact the decision that the board is going to be taking in terms of the notices as currently been drafted?
Council, I don't know if I want to answer that question.
What?
I don't know if I want to answer that question.
I don't even know what he said.
So if the notice doesn't make a difference on how the board's going to decide.
No, they're going to decide the case on the facts, sir,
Okay.
and the law,
Okay.
not the notice.
Okay. So in that case, I'd like to proceed.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Fletcher, have you concluded your testimony?
Yes, we did.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, so we'll go to the board for questions. And I will kick it off. So, Mr. Fletcher, on this sheet that you submitted,
I think it's A1.
okay, thank you, counsel. So A1 is, your subject site is in the same zone? I know you're in the RB zone. Is the sites that you cite, are they in RB as well?
Yes.
They are? Okay. Would you agree with me that your site is a smaller site, so your lot is a smaller lot compared to some of the lots that you are citing?
Yes, I would.
Okay. So, because I mean, so yours, at the portion of where yours is 75 by 65, maybe 66, but your comparative lots are 90 by 100, 80 by 100, 90 by 100, 80 by 100. So that type of setback would make a bigger difference on a smaller lot than it would on a larger lot.
Yes, it would.
Correct. Okay. All right. Thank you. Does the board have any other questions for Mr. Fletcher?
Yes, I have one.
Vice Chairman.
So on this A1, what these other existing setbacks, are they existing setbacks or were they approved with additions or?
There are existing setbacks. I don't know the history. I don't know if they were in front of this board or I don't know how it happened, but they're clearly those setbacks. I measured them myself.
Thank you.
Okay. Does the board have any other questions for Mr. Fletcher? Seeing none? Okay. Thank you very much. Sir, do you have anything to add before we go to the public?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So we'll now go out to the public. Anyone within 200 feet of subject site wanting to be heard, please approach. Anyone outside of 200 feet of subject site wanting to be heard, please approach. Seeing none, can I get a motion to close the public portion?
Motion to close public portion.
Second?
Motion made by Vice Chairman O'Gorman, second by Mr. Schneider. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Public portion is now closed, and I'll go to the board.
Mr. Chairman?
Vice Chairman.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to deny this application. The positive and negative criteria has not been met. The exhibit on A1 is insufficient and not clear and objective, and the lot sizes are smaller, and the presentation was not clear. And it doesn't meet the characteristics of the neighborhood.
Second.
Motion made by Vice Chairman O'Gorman, second by Mr. Sadata. Roll call, please.
Mr. Cerrito?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Johnny?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Patel?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Siddhartha?
Yes to the motion.
Vice Chair O'Gorman?
Yes on the motion.
And Chairman Gamba.
Yes on the motion. This application is denied. Madam Secretary, any further business come before the board this evening?
That'll be all this evening.
Seeing none, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Vice Chairman O'Gorman, second by Mr. Patel. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Board stands adjourned. Thank you.
Freezing.